Okay, so this is actually like my third attempt at recording this because I don't know what the fuck is up with me today, but my energy is whack. I am all over the place. I keep screaming. I keep like fucking talking weird. And I don't know what's going on. But hello. Hello. Welcome. My name is Jux. Today it's March 17, 2023. And today I'm here to talk about what it was like for me to grow up outside the box. Alright? We're just gonna talk about that. And I am going to read what I wrote about that when I was 22 years old. And then I'm going to comment about it, add a little bit of my own thoughts as of right now, because even though, yes, it was me who wrote this, but it was a different version of me. You know what I mean? Like, I've changed a lot. It has been 5 years now, if I can do my math right, 5 or 6 years. I've changed a lot in those years. So reading this text feels like I'm reading another person's text. And it's kind of crazy. If anyone has ever played Soma or watched a playthrough of it, you know what I'm talking about. It feels like I am reading someone else's text even though it's me. It's like a copy of me, but it's not me. It used to be me, and it is me, but it's not me anymore. You know? Yeah, you know. If you know, you know. If you don't, then I'm sorry. Or you're welcome, maybe. You don't have the same fucking existential dread that I have right now. Anyway. I'm gonna read what I wrote. And let's see. It's gonna be fine. Okay. Growing up outside the box. I didn't like dolls. I didn't like makeup. I didn't like pink. I didn't like anything that was stereotypical female or girly. At a young age, it was simply me not having interest in things that were typically girly. I don't exactly like boyish things either, but you know how people are. If you're not this, then you have to be that. I started playing video games at the age of like 3 or something. In the beginning, it was mostly me watching my brother play because I found it too scary, but I was still very intrigued. I got a few dolls during my birthdays, a little bit of makeup and jewelry as well. I like to make up stories and play them out with toys or stuffed pets. Unfortunately, it was mostly action sequences, which I didn't think the dolls were any good for. The makeup was fun, it was like painting. I absolutely despised the jewelry though. I have this weird phobia of putting anything small made out of metal on my skin. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you can actually call it a phobia, but I genuinely, absolutely hate any kind of jewelry. It doesn't matter what it's made out of. Like, I used to think it was just like, oh, anything small made out of metal. But now it's, I don't know what it is, but it's something about jewelry that it makes my skin crawl. And I can legitimately say that some jewelry, like just looking at it, can make me gag. Like I get sick. I don't know why. It kind of freaks me out just thinking about it. my skin, oh my god, it crawls. Ugh, I hate thinking about it. But yeah, like, even the words, man, I think, I'm trying to explain it, but when I think about the words I have to say, I can't actually, I feel myself going closer. Like necklaces or something you put around your arms, or your legs, anything that is like around your body, like a watch. I can't wear a watch. I can't do that. It's constricting, and I hate it. And it makes me go absolutely feral. I hate it. It genuinely, like, I feel sick. I feel like I want to claw up my skin. So yeah, it's more than just like I don't like jewelry. It's more than that. That's why I call it a phobia. But I don't know if you can call it a phobia because I don't know the like technical stuff about that. But generally, I go crazy. I feel sick, and I go crazy. I don't know what it is. But I just want attention about that. I think it's gotten worse because when I wrote this, as I said, I wrote anything small made out of metal. But right now, it's anything. It has evolved. It has evolved into anything because I thought like, well, maybe if I had like an armband made out of wood, maybe, or like a ring made out of wood. I like wood. Wood is great, but no, absolutely not. I cannot do it. Anything that's around my finger, anything that's around my wrist, like, I hate it. I can't. If someone wears a necklace that is out and about, I can't hug them. I can't do it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna keep reading because I want to move away from this. But just so you know, hate it. Okay. I'm gonna keep reading. Anyway. I grew up like this. I started school and immediately friend groups were created, and it was this invisible barrier between boys and girls. During recess, the boys would maybe just run around having a sword fight with each other using sticks they found on the ground or whatever. The girls would mostly just sit somewhere and talk or just walk around. So, natural selection would tell me to go with the girls because I'm a girl. But I thought they were boring. Okay, hold on. I wrote this. But I just want to also say, they were boring. They were boring, okay? Listen, I started school. I was fucking 6 years old. 6 years old? And the only thing you want to do is walk and talk. Why? I'm sorry for yelling. But oh my god, you're 6 years old and the only thing you want to do is walk around and talk. And do you know what they talked about? Because there was at one point where like my teacher noticed that I wasn't with anyone in my class. I didn't really make any friends because everyone was fucking boring. So she went to a group, or the girls group, and we're like, can she be with you? And they were like, yeah, of course. And so I was with them for like a recess or something. And my god, they talked about fashion. They were 6 years old and they were walking around and they were talking about shoes. They were talking about jackets. What? You know what I talked about when I was 6 years old? I'll probably get into it in the text a little later. But I talked about Pokemon. I talked about Balto. You know the movie Balto, with the animated movie about a fucking wolf dog hybrid. I don't think he was that in real life, but in the animated movie he was, and then he was a hero. Anyway, I want to talk about Pokemon and Digimon and Balto and Spirit, you know. But no, they talked about fashion, they talked about shoes. They were so fucking boring. And the boys, they were just punching each other. They were just walking around with sticks and just fucking swinging it at each other and being like, haha, you're hurt now, you're bleeding. I didn't want to join that either. That was fucked up. Anyway, sorry, I just want to rant about how fucking 6 years old we're just walking around talking about shoes, man. They were talking about shoes. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading now. I wanted to run around, pretend like I was a wolf being hunted by humans and needing to fight for survival. Maybe I could have joined the boys, but I felt like that invisible wall was pretty thick, so I just decided to stay on my own. And because they were fighting with sticks and wanted to fucking kill each other. Okay. As I got older, I obviously stopped running around on all fours and became more civil. Not more feminine though. In late middle school, the gap between girls and boys is definitely not as big as when you're younger, but it's still there. I constantly found myself in the middle. Girls liked gossip, makeup, cute boys, and Twilight. Boys liked sports, video games, teasing girls, and bending the rules. I didn't mind gossip. I'm very curious about other people. I didn't care at all about sports nor makeup. I loved video games. Didn't really give a shit about cute boys. Hated teasing and bothering people. However, I did have that Twilight face that many teenagers had. And bending the rules, I didn't really do that, and when I did, I wasn't aware that I was doing it. I also had weird interests that separated me from everyone. I was one of those things you call a weeb. I actually wrote that. I was one of those things you call a weeb. Or a weeaboo, if you will. I loved Japan, I loved anime, and at that time it still wasn't really that common. It's way more common now, but I was one of those people in the middle that boosted its popularity. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, it wasn't that common. People didn't really know what it was back then. Point is, I wasn't normal. Say that again. No one goddamn. No one around me was interested in Japan or watched anime. None of the girlfriends I had played video games, and even if I did play the same games as some of the boys, that invisible wall was still there. So I felt alone. A thing that I said in the beginning was like, the whole thing about that, if you're not this, then you have to be that. I think I get into that more when I talk about like gender identity and sexuality. But in general, my god, my god, do I hate how so many people have the conception of this world being like black and white. Genuinely about like anything. Like if you're not this, you have to be that. If you're not with me, you're against me. You know, all that fucking, it's so fucking tiring and it's so stupid. I just sometimes, like, if I just think about it like logically, I'm like, no, I don't think the majority of people are stupid. I don't. But it feels like that. It very much feels like people are dumb as fuck in this world. Because I don't understand how you can think so. Like fucking, is it called binary when it's just like ones and twos, you know, like either if you're not a 1, then you're a 2. Or it's a 0 and ones, whatever, bro. I don't. I feel like just in the way that some people just can't wrap their head around there being more than 2 genders. I am the exact opposite. I'm like, how can you think there's only 2 options? How is that possible? In this world that we live in, you think there's only 2 options? You can either be this or you have to be that. There's nothing in between. There's not a 3rd option. There's not a 4th. There's not a mixture of the 2. What the fuck are you on about? I'm sorry, I'm getting angry. I need to calm myself down. I just found it very strange and I don't understand how people can be so stupid. genuinely stupid. And I am not the kind of person who think that as long as if you don't think like me, then you're stupid. Absolutely not. I love talking to people who have a different outlook than me, to think differently. Love that shit, bro. But some people, my goodness, kind of want to kill them. But yeah, maybe I'll rant about that more in another one, because I feel like that could be like its whole own video, because I'm so fucking angry about it. But yeah, another thing that I said was I didn't mind gossip. I'm very curious about other people. That has changed. It has changed a little bit. I still am very curious about other people. A thing about me is I think that sorry, I don't know how to put this. A thing that a lot of people learn when they're young, and I think this is not only in Sweden. I think this is other places as well. It's like the golden rule. It's like treat others the way you want to be treated. That didn't work for me. I hated when people said that to me, because in the beginning, when the first time they said it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I'll do that. But when I did that, people got mad at me. And that was because I didn't get hurt by the same things that other people got hurt by. So like I could say something or do something, and then I have a memory of doing this, okay? I don't remember what I said or what I did, but I said something that hurt someone, and that person went to our teacher at the time because she was sad because I said something to her, and that teacher was like, you said this to her and it made her sad. And I was, oh shit, that sucks. We were like 6 years old or something, and I must have asked like why, because I remember the teacher being like, well, you should treat others like how you want to be treated. And I was like, alright, yeah, but that's why I said it, because I wouldn't feel bad if someone said that to me. Because it was something about telling the truth, you know? Like Man, I really wish I remember what it was, but I said something about what they said. I said something that was true, just objectively true, but in their eyes, it was rude to say. So they were like, why did you say that? It was rude. You should treat others like how you want to be treated. And I was like, yeah, I want to be told the truth, so I'm gonna tell the truth. And they were like, well, shit. My teacher were like, well, that's a problem. So yeah, I'm very curious about how other people think and feel, because I think I'm pretty good at like understanding people now, but I think I'm only good at that because I've paid attention when I was younger. I really paid attention to like how people acted when they were told something, like their body language, how they said certain things, how they reacted to certain things, and very much about they said one thing but their body language said something else, and all that stuff. Pretty good at knowing what people mean, even if they don't say it outright. But yeah, I'm not much for gossip anymore. I mean, it depends. If a friend comes to me and they want to talk shit about their friend because their friend is being a weirdo, then obviously I'll listen. But when it comes to like meaningless gossip, the gossip that I listened to in middle school, my man, I could be without that. I don't fucking care anymore about fucking gossip. And another thing I said I said something about bending the rules. I was one of those children that was so fucking scared of getting called out by the teacher. Because I never did anything like that, like in class or something that made me stand out or anything, and I just wasn't good with people being mean to me or like raising their voice at me. That's the thing. I'm still not good at that because probably because in my family we just don't do that. We can count on our fingers like how many times we've had a fight. We don't fight each other. And even though like that's great and all, because obviously we don't fight, it's not but that kind of made me scared of conflict a little bit, at least. I think I got better at it now that I'm older, but in general I'm not used to conflict. That's the thing, and I definitely wasn't used to conflict when I was younger. Didn't do anything that went against the teachers, except for skipping class. I skipped class. My goodness. Started skipping class when I was about 12, maybe, but it was coincidentally at the same time as I was getting depressed. I wonder how that correlates. I started skipping class, and I think the first time I didn't do it on purpose. I accidentally skipped class, and then I just kind of realized that, oh, I didn't die. I actually didn't die by skipping class. How about that, huh? How about that? So whenever I felt like life was shitty and I hated school, I'll be like, I can actually just go home. I'll just go home. Or I'll just won't go to class. I just won't. And I didn't really get told by the teachers. I mean, I have a vague memory of someone telling me at one point, being like, hey, where were you? And I was like, sorry. I don't know. I don't remember. This episode is fucking crazy. I don't know what my energy is. I feel weird. I feel really weird. And I should make videos when I feel weird. You know? But yeah. Do I have anything more to say about that? Like, growing up, like, if I think about it, how that has affected me now, later in life, it's just that I constantly feel alone. And it's weird because I have friends. I have very close friends. And yeah. I'm still, even though I have close friends and I have friends that like I relate to on so many things, like it's insane how much we have in common. Like we used to joke about being soulmates because we just had the same opinions on like everything, and we kind of have the same interests and stuff like that. Even though I have them, I still feel like I'm not understood. And I don't know if it's some internal struggle that I have, that I don't understand myself. And I don't, like, in that I don't understand myself, I don't fully accept myself either, even though I think I do. I think I accept myself. Right? Not really rambling. But it's... what am I trying to say? I am a very understanding person. I am. I accept people for who they are. Even if I don't understand, I usually do. I am pretty good at understanding where people are coming from, even if I don't agree with them. But there are obviously some times when I don't, and I still just go like, yeah, we'll do whatever the fuck you want. But even though I'm very accepting and stuff, it is so hard to accept myself, like, fully. Like, I would say that I accept myself and who I am on a surface level. I think I am perfectly normal. Normal human being with fucking whatever interests I have. It's fine. But I am still ashamed of voicing my thoughts, or I don't know. I can be ashamed of, like, my interests sometimes. I can be ashamed of how I act, how I talk, how I present myself. I can feel weird about that. Like I'm awkward. Or like the thing I said in the first video, I was like, I hope I'm not cringe. Who cares, man? At the end of the day, like, the thing is, there are people out there who are genuinely cringe, and I can think they're cringe. I hate that word, but I'm gonna use it because most people understand what I mean. And I can genuinely think that they're cringe, but I still think it's fine. It's okay. It's okay to be cringe. But then, if I think like that, then why do I have a problem with it? Why is it fine for everyone else but not me? Why do I keep these high expectations on myself but not on others? I mean, I kind of have high expectations from others in a certain way. But, like, I thought about it a little bit, and I think, this is my theory, okay? I think I have high expectations on myself because the way I see myself is very different from the way I present myself. And I think that kind of gives me a bit of a... what would you call it? It's... I lose the words, but it's... Poof, I'm sorry. Like the way I look, for example, like, the way I look isn't the way that I see myself when I think about myself. Like, it's very weird. It's not like I have body dysphoria. Is it called that? Dysphoria? When I look, it's not like when I look at myself in the mirror and I go like, holy shit, I don't want to look at myself because I don't feel like that. But it just feels weird looking at myself because I don't feel like the way I look. And I don't act the way I feel. And because of that, I think I am constantly judging myself because I'm like, why are you acting like this? This is not you. But it is me though. So I'm constantly fighting with myself of like how I view myself and how I actually am. I view myself as much more, what would you call it? Cool, I guess, than what I actually am. I think there's a few people in my world with my friends and family who would genuinely call me cool. But I think I'm just way more goofy than I think I am. And part of that is because I can kind of be stuck in who I used to be. I used to be very, very quiet, very shy. And now in later years I just gotten like, I wouldn't say crazy, but I've just gotten in the other direction of being like a little bit too loud, to where I'm slightly uncomfortable with myself, but I'm doing it for myself, so I'm not ashamed. But then I get ashamed because I'm not as cool. So I'm not as cool and mysterious as I'd like to be. But also, why can't I be both? Huh? You ever thought about that, future me? You ever think about that? You ever think about how you can be fucking both? Sometimes, some days, I can be cool and mysterious and deep and fucking interesting. And then other days, I can be loud and annoying and crazy and cringy. I can do and be whatever the fuck I want to be. Maybe not want to. Maybe want is the wrong word. Maybe I just let myself be whatever I would be. You know, whatever I feel like. Whoever I am today is the person I am. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna end the video right now. I know I'm just driving around here, but I hope you had a good time. I hope you have a good time. I'm gonna speed up. I'm gonna go against the red light. I'm gonna get a ticket. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna fucking total this car. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go. Bye. Oh my god. Strange little person.